Good morning. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
That's a little bit better. Some folks didn't wake up this morning, so I always know it's a good morning when I can wake up.
Amen.
Today's press conference here today is to let you know about a policy. The board is setting public policy today. Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. and myself, we are calling for a feasibility study for the new jail. Commissioner Arrington and I are the co-sponsors for this resolution that gives a policy directive to the county staff to move forward on looking at the new jail, where it should be, what it should have, in concert with our sheriff. I want to be crystal clear in moving forward. If we're talking about true criminal justice reform, we must look at the behavior health issue. We must look at the safety of not only our inmates, but also of staff. The jail that we have is about 30 years old. It is a Band-Aid solution to open heart surgery. And the community wants us to do what we're elected to do, which is to set policy. And now is the time to look at moving on to a new jail. As most of you all know, in February, I took a tour, a personal tour of the jail. It was deplorable. It was outdated. Our sheriff was handed a situation that I commend him for his ability to run it. But at the end of the day, this is 2021. We need to make sure our staff is safe. We need to make sure our inmates are safe. We need to make sure that our housing are rehabilitative and not just to lock the person up. We have wasted millions of dollars throwing money down a rabbit hole for a jail that has outlived its use. Like I said, jail is not only a penal system. We're looking at criminal justice reform, which behooves us to make sure that we look at the behavioral health model. Jail is not a dumping ground for the less of these, for those with mental health issues. My staff is looking at diversion. I will be heading to Houston shortly to look at a model there to see how do we accept and help our mentally challenged or mentally ill individuals, as opposed to the burgeoning overcrowding of the jail system. The goal is to reduce the recidivism rate. The goal is to make sure that the taxpayer gets their fair share in dollar worth, and to continue to throw money down a rabbit hole is no longer a solution in Fulton County. So as I stated earlier, Commissioner Marvin Arrington and I both sponsored this as a result of a community outcry for policy to be set for Fulton County to move towards a new jail. And so I am here with my sheriff, and I support law enforcement, but I have to say I'm a little starstruck with this sheriff because I supported him. We came in unseating incumbents with fresh ideas, and we want to make sure that we make sure Fulton County citizens get their tax dollar worth with the feasibility study for a new jail. I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Patrick Labotte. Sheriff.
Thank you again. First of all, good morning. Good morning again. As you heard Commissioner Khadijah, you know, I love the slogan, "We need Khadijah." It is one of the best that's ever been put out to our community. We're in a space, you heard Commissioner talk about us needing a new facility. Well, we're beyond that point. Specifically, we've spent over $1 billion over the last 10 years. We could have built 2 state-of-the-art facilities for those kinds of dollars. But more importantly, I want to thank Commissioner Khadijah and the rest of the commissioners that took an opportunity to come visit what I call our starting point. Now, when I took over as sheriff a little over 7.5, going on 8 months ago, it is our duty to treat people in a humane fashion. And with that in mind, one of the first things we wanted to do was have a real conversation about how we treat the least of these. And so we keep in mind that 90 to 95%, almost 98% of the persons we service are still simply pretrial, and they are accused in many instances and accused of really heinous crimes, but at the same time, it is our duty, our responsibility to treat people in the most humane fashion possible. And so with that, this is the first step. And that's what this is. This is a first step. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what the final cost will be. We don't know even what locations are best when you're talking about building a facility of this magnitude. So I want to commend Commissioner Khadijah and Marvin Arrington, Commissioner Arrington as well, and the rest of the commissioners that have been supportive in at least getting to the point of understanding we need to do a feasibility study to understand more what we need. So I'm excited about the opportunity. Certainly want to thank you again, Commissioner, for taking this journey with us, and I'll stand by if there are any questions from there.
At this time, before we get to questions, I do want to give a few moments to Elijah Porter. Elijah Porter has been working with the Mighty Six office, has been a community person in Vine City, and I just want to bring him up for him to share his story with you and give you his perspective.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Elijah Porter. I am an attorney, and with my mother, we own and operate a retail sneaker store. I'm a citizen of Fulton County, and I live in Vine City, Georgia. And I wanted to add my voice to the clarion call for criminal justice reform that will save lives, make us safe, and most importantly, treat the inmates humanely. We need real criminal justice reform, and it will start today if you pass the jail feasibility resolution and build a new high-tech county jail. Scenes from the tour that Sheriff Labotte gave this year show how critical the situation is. Inmates sleeping on the floor, mold in the showers, and water leaking from the ceilings. It puts both inmates and staff at risk, and it's not fair to them, nor is it safe. It should be made clear that just because you go to jail doesn't mean that your conditions should look like hell. In a civilized society, when we lock up people, we must do it with humanity. No one deserves to be treated any less because that is morally wrong. Incarceration should be more than just punishment. It should be about rehabilitation and reducing the number of repeat offenders. And I get it. I know that it's not easy asking taxpayers for a new jail. But we spent about $1 billion over the last 10 years throwing good money after bad. And as Commissioner Khadijah has said, we keep providing a Band-Aid solution for open heart surgery. You, the Board of Commissioners, have the power to change all that. And I hope that you will. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah. I'm going to open the floor to any questions at this moment.
What are possible options where the money might come from, no matter the cost?
Well, we got a couple of different options. The feasibility study will look at possibly bonding. We don't know if the jail will stay in its present location. And so the very important part of the feasibility study will look to see where it's located, how we will fund it, as far as where the taxpayers, the funding will come for the best taxpayers bang for their buck. But I know at this point we're losing money.
Do you have the support of the other commissioners? It takes more votes to get anything passed.
Based on my conversations and the support of our sheriff, I am confident that this will pass because at this point, keep in mind, this is a policy-making decision today. So this gives a directive to the county staff to put the feasibility study in place, to look at our options and to move on a new jail. And I am very clear that all of my colleagues understand the state of the condition of the jail and that we need to move forward.
Is public safety in danger with this current jail? Can inmates get out? Is the community in danger?
I'm going to let the sheriff answer that.
Repeat the question, please.
Is the jail that we're presently using, is the community in danger with this jail?
Yeah, honestly, I believe, and I've said for quite some time, we're really at a point, a critical point in public safety. Again, as I mentioned, it's how we treat the least of these, but at the same time, over the years, I've seen judges and the like make difficult decisions that are based on the population of the jail. And so I would say, yes, we're in a critical or pivotal point to be able to reduce the population, but at the same time serve people better when it comes to public safety.
What's the number one reason for replacing this jail?
It's deplorable. It is, we need to treat people better. I have a duty, I took an oath, I have a duty to treat people humanely. And that facility in and of itself, we've outgrown years before now. And so we need to, as a county, do a better job. And I certainly believe Commissioner Khadijah and Arrington have the votes to make this happen, because this is a beginning point. This allows us to know what we need, because we don't know what we don't know.
Sheriff, do you plan to tell the board today that you want to pass the feasibility study?
I've told them individually, so if they want to hear from me, right, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty clear, and I'm always transparent about the need for a new facility. And again, I appreciated all of the commissioners and city council members alike that have taken an opportunity to come visit and see firsthand what the facility looks like.
How would you respond to folks who say, no matter what, we don't want a new jail, we want criminal justice in a different way, jail abolitionists, you're just going to build a jail to get a new one. How would you respond to this whole stuff?
I would ask them to go find criminals and tell them to stop committing crime, right? The one thing that has been on the forefront of every conversation is the rise in crime. And so the minute that people stop committing crimes, it will be the minute that we need to not have equally as much law enforcement. And so to that end, we have, again, a responsibility to treat people humanely. And for the women and men that work every day at Fulton County Sheriff's Office and 901 Rice Street, they deserve a place that is humane in and of themselves, that they can be proud of, to walk in and out of every day. And it's possible. It is possible to do it. And so I would tell them to look toward the future, look at how we can build a facility that better provides resources for individuals to get out. When you cage a person, you treat them like an animal. That's the expectation. All right? And so when we can do better, we know better, we can do better, and we need to move into that space.
How many people are in votes right now?
Right now, as of this morning, close to 300 people.
And how many staff work at the jail?
Well, currently, we have a little under 600 people that are assigned to the facility. And so on a daily basis, we're trying to increase all of that, and certainly increase our recruitment as we go along.
Sure.
Thank you all.